to complete the reading there, and we'll leave the question. And, come back to the show tomorrow with a written definition. Sit down and write out your definition of love. And we'll see how it fits tomorrow. It's a core principle, a key in the whole healing process to straighten that definition out. So honored and delighted that you're here in the conversation, and we've got about 18 or so minutes left. So if you're out there in listener land, what's on your mind? How can we support you? Are you using the tools? If you have questions about any of the tools and how they operate, our calling number, if you're on one of those stations where we can't see you in our control panel.
I do them out loud in the group than when I do them at home. And he said, and I thought
Wow.
it would be the opposite. I thought I would be able to be more honest at home alone, but he said, I find the absolute opposite. And that's a direct result in my eye and ear of this kind of thing. He's bumping up against some serious, very big, in his mind, horrible things that he's probably been holding on to.
And, of course, if you want to do the forgiveness process, it's there live on the website. You can do it. You can fill in the worksheet, print it from there. You can download the worksheets. There are several different worksheets for different workshops, and there's several versions of the main worksheet, the reality management forgiveness process. You can also go to your app store on your phone and type in the words Heartland, one word, Heartland, Aramaic, Aramaic, forgiveness. Type in Heartland Aramaic Forgiveness, and you'll be looking at the world's only forgiveness app. It's free. It's very private. When you download the average app on your phone, if you look at the permissions required, there are 10, 15, 20 different permissions. And, including they can give your number away to others, sell it. I mean, there's just all kinds of crazy stuff. And this app was specifically designed to stay private, so there's only one permission required, and that is for the app to use your internet connection. Otherwise, there are no permissions. When you complete a worksheet, you can print it. And if you're going to print, of course, you have to have somewhere to save it. So it will ask you for permission.
And get dialed in. So I will first invite you to go to our website, which is whyagain.org. You can click on Start Here or scroll down to the bullseye, and they both take you to the same place. And that's where you can get started if you're not familiar with the work. You can download all the worksheets. There's Michael's book. There are special MP3s of radio shows where we've walked people through the worksheets. Lots and lots of information. I will say that I got a notice from Google this morning, so the app is now up on both the iPhone and the Android. It's been revised to take care of the printing issue, and it's actually stored on their website now. And so hopefully that takes care of all the issues that you all have been having with the app. Please let me know if you run into something else, or if you have some suggestions you would like to be added to the app or added to the website. And again, if you find any links on the website that are not working, please drop me a line and let me know the URL that's not working right. And my email is Jeanie, that's JEANIE @whyagain.org. And I'll be sure to try to get on it and get it fixed. And Susan, are we still on? I just turned your mic back on. Are we still on for Monday?
Yes.
With Chris? Perfect.
Are you talking to me, Jeanie?
Yeah. Are we still, it's still scheduled for right after the show on Monday to talk to Kristen Ryman?
I don't know anything about this.
Well, it was, it was somebody that you had a call with.
Oh,
and,
yeah. That's
you
right.
had invited Michael to be,
Right.
So
oh, my God, I'm so glad you reminded me about that.
that's immediately after the radio show on Monday. And so
okay.
Michael will be ready for that. I don't know.
Down.
Okay.
It's fine. It's fine, Jeannie. I'm so sorry I drew a blank. So much has been happening
That's
here.
okay. I do that.
You know about that. I'm glad you
do.
reminded me. I would have been there because it's on my calendar, but, man, it wasn't in my gray matter at all.
Does Michael have the number or whatever to call in, or are you conferencing him in, or
I don't know. I will write to her. I just saw her the other day. I'll send her an email and ask. I imagine she does. I think she probably has it all, but I'll make sure. Okay.
That's perfect. So that was interesting. I just came in the last 10, 15 minutes, so I'm going to have to look up that thing on the Indra, too. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah. Right. Well, Dr. Tim was telling it, and I had my mute on because the doorbell rang twice. A woman next door is in trouble with her telephone and needed to call the phone company, and all sorts of things were happening, and I was hoping I was getting Dr. Tim's drift, and I think I did, but I'm going to listen again, too, to that. I'm going to listen to the Joseph Campbell rendering of that story. Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, boy.
Very good. Well, it made me think, and I was looking to see if I could find it, because he was talking about the Buddha, and we had a friend that she is the assistant to a friend of ours, Kempo, and he's supposedly the verified reincarnation of the Buddha of wisdom. And he's such a sweet person. He's like, I'm not sure his years around the sun or times around the sun, but he was like a child, because he would, when we went to visit, he actually walked us out to a field and had us lay down in the grass and just look up at the sky. And, he did things like that a child would do. And she had sent me, and I'm not finding it right at the moment. So when Michael gets on and takes off talking so that I can multitask, I'll look it up and I'll put a link to it in the notes. But she compared the work, and they use different terms than we do, but she did a comparison of 5 steps that they do in the Buddha tradition and how it compares to 5 steps of their forgiveness work. And so that's pretty cool. And so I'll try to find that and put notes. Yeah. So, you're getting ready to ask how we're doing, or what?
Well, I was going to pester you a little bit. Because
okay, go for it.
I hear you typing and you're putting things in the notes, and just finished your updating of your app and talking to India, and I was going to pester you about the amount of busy clutter in your life that has it gotten over your head again?
It is busy. We've got several things going on right now. Tomorrow I have some installers coming at 9:00 that are going to do this cutout in Dad's bath, in his bathtub. And it's going to cost a little more than I anticipated because the bathtub is old. It's porcelain, but underneath the porcelain is, what'd they say, cast iron or something.
Yeah, cast iron. Those are old tubs. Wow, you're going to cut into that? Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, they make this company that I found make this little step-in thing. So they actually cut a hole in the side of the bathtub, and then they fit this piece down in it so that you can leave it open, and then he can just step in. So he'll have to step up maybe 4 or 5 inches. But it's getting real complex for him even to sit on we have a transverse seat that he can sit on and then swing his legs around and get into the shower so that I can shower him. And it's getting challenging to even lift his legs and get him over in the bathtub. So this will help him to be able to get in easier. And so they say it'll only take about 3 hours for them to do it, and that they totally enclose the bathroom and they have vacuums and all this other stuff so that the metal fibers aren't flying around the house and stuff. But we have that going on, and we have somebody coming Saturday to give us some information about putting solar panels on the roof of the house. So there's a lot of things going on, but
yeah, and you're doing the gardening stuff. Michael was saying you're trying to get the soil back to snuff.
Yeah, we actually got 4,000 pounds of compost, organic compost, the other day, and put it in the garden because a lot of the ground here is clay, and we're having to watch where we build the gardens, because for a long time, when I had my stepson come, he's been doing my dad's yard for several years, and there for a long time there were certain areas of the yard that he would spray just to kill out the weeds and stuff. So we can't make gardens in those areas, even though for the last 2 years I've not allowed him to spray. And I'm not sure how many years it takes for that stuff to get out of the earth, but we don't want to take a chance and plant any food in those areas. So we're kind of being cautious of that. But it was really pretty cool the other day that our compost pile started giving all these volunteer an avocado tree and some papaya trees and all these things that don't normally grow in this area. And so I've transplanted them into pots that if we get our greenhouse put up, that we can put them in there and maybe get them to survive through the winter. And
nice.
Yeah, so it'll be really cool. We've got kiwi plants and we have fig trees and things that really don't normally grow here, but if we can keep them in a greenhouse, I think we can keep them going. So
how big is the greenhouse, Jeannie?
Well, I'm getting bids on it. I want to get one that's actually attached to the house, so it would just be like a 3-sided greenhouse, and the 4th side will be the wall of the house. And
I see.
And if we get solar, then the greenhouse even can run on solar on cloudy days and keep it, moist. And, yeah. So
you have a deal down there where you?
Yes.
Go ahead.
They're running. The house is in Virginia, and they're actually running specials right now to give I don't know what they call it, but it's like an incentive to go solar instead of staying on the grid. So we're looking at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So because it looks like, we're going to be here for a while, and so we might as well make it all usable and workable. And as far as Heartland goes, we've actually got some people who are interested in perhaps living there and doing gardening and teaching gardening to young people. And so it'll be really good to use Heartland for something else if we're not going to do intensives there. And so we're talking to some people about that, and there's this one gentleman who's been a organic gardener for a long time, and he's interested in teaching. And so it'll be really good because there are, especially in the Missouri area, there are actually a lot of family farms, and the kids have no idea how to continue those farms. And so it'll be really nice, for somebody to teach them so that the family farms can keep going and be usable instead of just being turned into some kind of subdivision or something,
Right. Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
I hope that works out, but that's an awful lot of irons in the fire, Jeannie. Oh, man.
I know. And we've got the next 4 or 5 days we don't have the baby, so we're hoping to get some of our projects kind of in a completion mode before we have her back and be able to just focus on what we need to do around here and get some things done.
Well,
so, yeah. I did run across a journal that it's probably 6 or 7 years old, and in that journal I actually talked about clutter, so that kind of brought that back to the forefront for me to work on again. But yeah, Michael's now with us. Yeah, his microphone, if it gets too close to his mouth or nose, it sounds like Darth Vader.
He's puffing and puffing.
I'm breathing.
The monster has entered.
You know me. I always
He
breathe.
has. So welcome,
So
Michael.
welcome. Thank you, dear heart. I was just delivering a beamer to someone, so she was a little bit late.
Wow. Well, that's good.
It is good.
So,
Life is good. Life without tools can be pretty rough, and I thank God every day for the fact that we have tools for healing the insanity that crops up, so many generations of it that I can't imagine what life would be without it. So how are you today, young lady?
Fine. I was just on Dr. Tim's, and I really didn't. I mean, Jeannie's just turned me on there. So it's been a very interesting morning with my new Iraqi friend. She taught a 15-minute demonstration of belly dancing in my Pilates class.
Oh, really?
Over to the class with me. And she showed them how you do it. She didn't really show them. She demonstrated. She's not a teacher. So she just turned on her music and let it rip. And, man, it is great exercise and wonderful. And was it you, Michael, who said that belly dancing was invented by women to help women with menstrual cycles and childbirth and all that sort of thing? Or was it somebody else?
I think that was somebody else, but it makes sense that, getting the energy moving in the belly, a place where a lot of congestion tends to occur. In naturopathic medicine, the whole cause of disease is looked at as congestion. And when you can clean up the congestion, you're going to be healthy. And certainly moving is a big part of keeping that congestion and energy flowing.
And I wonder if just visualizing clearing the cells and speaking in a sweet way to the cells. This is not my idea. Ellen was saying this the other day, that she talks to her cells. I love it. It can't hurt, right?
Absolutely. When you realize that the only mechanism, each cell is an individual, and it is driven by the messages held in the unconscious mind for most people. And so if there are unconscious messages and you choose to spend time each day consciously giving your whole, these 3 or 4 trillion guests that are your home, and as well, only about, I think it's 12 to 14% of our DNA is human. The rest of it is all of the bacteria that we count on to live. And if you talk to them, you can override unconscious messages of trauma and start them moving in a different direction. So, Ellen, I think you're right on with that one. I'd be with you 100%.
I don't know if she's listening. Yeah, I'll tell her you said so. I love it, too. I've already started doing it. But
sweet.
Anyway, it's very exciting. Well, the tool, basically your tool is to realize that anything that happens, any feeling we have is our own stuff. Nobody else does anything to us, and that our biggest challenge is to back off enough to know that we are not necessarily right in any situation. Dr. Tim was talking a lot about that. And if our governments could just do that, it would be so much of a shift.
Well, and when we talk about you're communicating with your cells, feelings are your cells communicating with you. Mm-hmm. If we go to the opening words in the book of John, where we know now in Aramaic it says, in the beginning was the mind energy, and the mind energy became flesh. That mind energy, what we know is it forms a molecule, and we think of thought, it forms an actual molecule called a neuropeptide. The neuropeptide lands on the cell, and when it lands on the cell talks to us and says, yes, this is good stuff. I feel elated. Don't put that in me. Hate, fear, pain. The cell saying, this is not good for us. So it's the cell communicating with us. That's what feelings are.
And the cells communicate to us what we have thought. unconsciously, right? That goes into the cell.
Exactly. It's telling us the quality. Feelings are telling us the quality of our creative process, of our mind energy.
Okay. Okay, good. I had to tie that little knot. Okay, good. Thanks.
Yeah.
Well, tell Jeannie to stop doing so many things. That's me.
Yeah. Like I have control of that. Okay.
Yeah, just this morning
I'll try it. I'll try it again.
Just this morning, he would tell me to quit unloading the car, that he would unload it. I had gone early this morning to Sam's Club, and that I could unload once he brought it into the house. And then I went out and picked up one more bag, and he says, I told you. So,
well, that's good.
Well, I requested you.
Okay.
Are we having a marital spat here, Bo?
No.
It might.
Okay.
But
well,
I did make that request
here.
of her.
Yeah.
Exactly the request that you suggest I make. I made it for her this morning. You know, as she's unloading, it's like, you went and did the grocery shopping, honey. Let me unload the car. Oh, okay. 5 minutes later, she's out there unloading the car. Honey, you know, there's lots of stuff we need to do inside. We need to put the grocery. Let me unload the car. Stop.
Yeah.
But
that's
you know,
nice. Mhm. One thing I noticed
you don't have
to
do this all on your own.
Yeah. There's a thing happening with my new Iraqi friend already.
Right.
She came and taught the belly dancing, and then we went to Costco because she has no car, so she needs help with the grocery shops once in a while. So we went there, and she is one of those people that is so eager to help and keep you from suffering that she would grab things I was perfectly able to carry and carry them for me so that I worried about her. It seemed like it was to the extreme where I thought, what has happened here? What's generating this? And this is a whole other thing, and I don't even know, and I could talk to her about it, I'm sure. She's such a wonderful woman. But,
well,
she is... Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, it's powerful to hear you say that in a culture where I was just listening this morning. Dad was listening to a Christian television station, and there's some example of some immigrant who did something terrible, and now in their minds, I mean, they have no clue that the word neighbor means anybody that you think about, and you're supposed to be the space of love for your neighbor, and the hateful venom that were coming out of these people's mouths over, somebody attacked somebody. But, I mean, the number of attacks, the number of crimes committed by immigrants is far less than the American population, if you look at the statistics. But they turn this around, and then they've got this vile, vicious language, the mind energy, and they have no idea what they're doing to themselves, their own cellular structures, what it's doing to them. And, I don't know if you noticed, but once in a while I'll post on Facebook a comment about some wonderful immigrants that we know. And if you look at the truth about it, immigrants built the country, and immigrants have made such monumental contributions to the culture. And they're just plain hate people who want to drive them into the ground and will come up with every little thing that anybody's done wrong. It's like, gee, I wish you'd turn that, device that you're using to, that microscope you're putting them under, and put yourself under the microscope. Just listen to your own language. And in fact, I've been thinking since I listened this morning, they have a email feedback, and I've been thinking about writing them because it was just pure vile. And if you listen to Christ talks about it, you listen to the scriptures, and they talk about the sojourner in your country and how you are to treat them. And the way you're to treat them is lovingly, gently, and with respect, not like they're your enemy. Now, are there enemies? Are there people we need to be careful of? Absolutely. But to paint everybody with that brush is just pure racism and pure hate. I've done 4 jobs at a time, and it's just really insane the conversation that the right is having about people who need our help. And, especially people coming from the South, in a lot of cases, they're countries that American businesses have raped. And that's why those people need to escape. Such poverty and such toxicity. We've poured and rained such chemical waste and toxicity and junk on them, stolen their wealth, and they're in such poverty. Yeah, they should be coming to our door. They should be in droves because of what has been done. It's only fair and balanced. But then people who live in the hate language don't think in those terms. They don't think at all. All they do is repeat. The hate dogma. So definitely one to. I'll breathe some more on that and do a worksheet or two as well.
Yeah, I know. It's ongoing. Yeah, I was worried about her, though, because it almost was as if she was afraid to let me carry my own packages, afraid for something. And, I told her, she invited me in for lunch, and I said, well, I actually am very active on a radio show that's interactive. It's a seminar. It's an ongoing, forever seminar that's spiritual / psychological. And she said, oh, I love that kind of thing. Give me the number. I'm imitating her accent. Well, I did, and I told her she should come on, and it might seem like mysterious at first or hard to grasp, but she would catch on. She's brilliant. She's lovely and brilliant. But here she is. She's a bright light, very loving, beautiful to look at, a lovely dancer. And yet on the way home, she says, I get migraine headaches. And I'm thinking, well, there it all is. And then she said, when I hear a siren,
get her hand in the Avicen.
I just, when
the Avicen, the guy who invented the Avicen originally, he had a sister-in-law who for 20 years had daily migraine headaches. And he invented the Avicen to help her, and she hasn't had headaches in 10 years.
Cool. I will do that. I may even loan her mine and have her use it for a while. Wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
Now she's living with you?
No.
She's living in your home?
No, she was resettled by Bethany Christian Services, which is the refugee resettlement agency in our area. And she lives about 15 minutes away from me. And how did I hear about her? Oh, I heard about her from my refugee, the woman who's the head of the refugee center. She asked me if I could do something for her. She's a single woman, escaped Iraq because her husband was abusive, and wanted to come to the U.S., but spent 8 years in Turkey waiting to get here. And her little tiny boys that she had with her are now teenagers. Imagine, she's a really strong woman. But here she is in this country, and she says, every day I dance. When I feel upset, and I feel upset a lot, I dance.
Sweet. Amazon or eBay. And or you can go to our website, whyagain.org, and you can download the book free. And our friend from Iraq very likely speaks Farsi. The book is free online. You can download it, print it, or read it digitally online. English, German, Russian, Swedish. Well, Swedish one isn't on. We've got hard copies of that. But so we're at the point where we're talking about relationships. And I read the key thought in a quote from Albert Schweitzer that says, "The one thing I know, the only ones among you who will really be happy are those who will have thought and found out how to serve." And so the idea of this radio show is to be of service, to offer support to people in understanding these tools. And we are happy and delighted to give you everything we've got in the way of the use of the tools. So any questions you have, we're here to answer them. So I'm on the top of the page of 116, the chapter on clarifying love. And I offer Richard the thought, Real relationship is dead in the glamour industry's definition of love. Have you ever felt used as a sexual object and then thrown away? Anyone who buys into the common media definition of love becomes a sexual object in their own mind and in the minds of others. Of course, like other objects, they're thrown away after use, I added. I've been on both sides of that scenario, Richard said sadly, and I don't understand why it has to be that way. I would love to be in a true, honest, and real relationship. That's impossible until I straighten out some of my conflicting realities. And that's a brilliant insight from his side, because as long as the unconscious mind holds conflicting realities, sooner or later those realities are going to come up in the context of relationship. And if we don't know that that conflict is an internal dynamic, there's never been a conflict for anybody in a relationship. It's never happened ever in all of eternity, and it never will. But there are people who have conflicting realities within them that project those realities on others, and then they pretend that their conflicted thoughts and feelings and trauma belongs to somebody else. When they clean up conflict in their minds and someone has a different approach, direction, or opinion from them, instead of being conflict, they will live as the presence of love. They'll be settled inside. They'll be serene inside, and they'll have the highest possible intelligence that a human could have to move forward in that situation that someone else is functioning differently. So, when we're in conflict because there are conflicting energies within us. When I remove conflict, there is serenity in me, and I might be standing in a room with 20 other people who all want to go in a different direction, but I don't have to conflict with any one of them because they're going in a different direction. I only conflict when there are conflicted realities in me. So Richard's really stepping into some sadness here about the conflict in his life. I think you're right, I offer to him. We tend to live exactly what we've learned. And if we've been used and abused, it takes work to live differently. Relationships are a wondrous place for nurturing, support, and healing if we can remove the confusing and conflicting realities we've hooked into them. My experience of people who reject or cannot form long-term relationships is they have so much pain in their quote-unquote relationship file, they have to keep on the move, or they will have to face what's hidden inside of them. And people who are always leaving relationship, people who are always, moving, always on go, it's not because they're trying to escape something in the external world. They're attempting to escape their projections on the external world. So this idea of looking at what's inside of us, and Richard feeds back to me, I've been on the run for too long. Who promotes this insanity? Why is there such confusion in the world, he asked. And of course, the confusion isn't in the world, the confusion's between our ears. We can't be confused by an event that happens in the world. But an event can bring up conflicting and confused realities in us, and we'll say, well, I'm confused about that. No, I'm not. You've never been confused about anything in your whole life. But if there's something confusing in your mind, an event, a happening, a person, a situation, a circumstance, a business event, can bring up that confusion. When I realize confusion is nothing but an aberrant perceptual construct of my mind, then when confusion comes up, I apply forgiveness to remove confusion. Then I'm finished with confusion, which is pretty simple and straightforward. So he says, why is there so much confusion? To answer that, notice who receives the benefits of a twisted understanding of love. Anyone who distorts the truth to gain something for themselves is in so much pain and lives in such inward poverty that they cannot live honestly. They think they must manipulate to have anything for themselves to survive. Have you ever noticed that the promoter of the idea that love is self-sacrifice always has their hand out? And those who feed on abusing others push the idea that love is gracious acceptance of their abuse. Those who promote love as sex have a lot more sex objects of whom to take advantage. And those with a victim mentality get the benefit of playing out their role to which they are dedicated and addicted, I added. Well, I'm not quite keeping up with everything you're saying, Michael, but I get its importance. I suppose I have to clean up some of the clouds I've allowed my mind to accept and build more brain cells about what love really is before I fully grasp it. However, you've got my attention again. I have a question that has bothered me all my life, Michael. What is love? And so we're going to complete the reading there, and we'll leave the question. And, come back to the show tomorrow with a written definition. Sit down and write out your definition of love. And we'll see how it fits tomorrow. It's a core principle, a key in the whole healing process to straighten that definition out. So honored and delighted that you're here in the conversation, and we've got about 18 or so minutes left. So if you're out there in listener land, what's on your mind? How can we support you? Are you using the tools? Do you have questions about any of the tools and how they operate? Our call-in number, if you're on one of those stations where we can't see you in our control panel, is 563-999-3581, 563-999-3581. If you call that number, you'll be listening to the show. And if you are listening to the show and you have a question or a thought, all you do is push 1 on your keypad. I don't know what you do if you've got a dial phone, but there aren't too many of those left. You push 1, and that, through the magic of technology, raises a hand in our control panel, and Jeannie will introduce you by your area code, and we'll be having a conversation. So if you're on one of those stations where we can't see you, call in, 563-999-3581. Push 1. How can we support you? What's on your mind? How can we refine any of these principles? If you're not using the forgiveness process, we invite you to go to the website. Again, it's whyagain.org. In the upper left-hand corner, click the button that says Start Here. That will open a whole series of links and walk you through the whole process. And or you can go to the homepage, to the website, and just scroll down. And Jeannie and Susan have done a whole new structure, totally shifted the website, and it's beautiful. And it makes things really easy to ask that you can put anything in it. It's yours, and nobody else has any access. And so if you're out there in listener land, how can we support you? What's on your mind? 563-999-3581. If I were in your hometown doing this conversation and walked down off the platform and you were out in the audience, what would you be coming over? Right now, if you heard what has been said so far on the show, what would you be walking over to me and asking? Now's the time to ask. Push 1 and let's have a conversation. Miss Jeannie, do we have anything happening in the chat room or anything happening in the phone queue?
No, it is all quiet. Michelle's with me in the chat room.
Oh, hey there, young lady. How are you?
Several people
maybe
on the switchboard,
Michelle,
but nobody's hand.
Okay. Well, Michelle, I don't know if you have telephone access. If you would love to hear how things are in Mexico for you. Hope that you're having a wondrous journey there and that things are rocking well. If you can call and say hello, that would be sweet. Other than that, if you're out there in listener land, can we answer a question for you? And this is the stage in the workshop or in the and I liked, by the way, Susan, your description of the show today as it's an ongoing workshop. It really is an eternal workshop because the work that people do is just phenomenal on this show. And so we would love to do some work with you. We would love to support you. We would love to answer your questions. So 563-999-3581. It's meant to be a dialogue, not a monologue. And so if we don't have any other questions with everything that I've got on my plate today, we're deep in getting gardens ready for winter and having the Beamer this morning to have delivered, and we've got another Avison to work with today. So all of the things that we're doing with not traveling anymore to just keep the flow happening, so that we can be comfortable here being with Jeannie's dad and taking care of him and taking care of Aria Rain and doing the radio show and everything else we're about and taking this work on a global scale. So if there are no questions, then I'm going to say let's call the show for today, and we'll look forward to tomorrow's questions. And I'd suggest if you're using the tools that you create a notebook or have a file on your phone that you use to keep questions right there at hand. I know that oftentimes in the middle of a conversation, if I don't have a note, what was I going to ask? What was that thought? Well, this is the place. We want to offer you everything we know about these ancient tools, everything. I can remember one of my early mentors in a different teaching that I was engaged in way back years ago. They were like, he had listened in on one of my presentations. They're like, well, that's from another. You can't present that. You won't have anything to present in a future workshop if you give that away. You just have to restrict it. It's like, no, not true. I have found if we can give everything we've got away, and when we've given it all away, we get another piece of the puzzle. So we're here to give it away. We're here to support you. And if you have a thought, one last time, we'll ask for a hand to go up. And if not, then let's call the show for today. Miss Jeannie?
There are no hands up.
Well, then I think we should just get some of these other projects done, and everybody have the best year yet of your eternal life. It's an awesome gift to give the world. Blessings.
A hand just went up.
Okay, great. Oh, let's go for it.
541. I think it's Miss Julie.
Hey there, young lady. How are you? How are things out there on the West Coast? Hello, Julie. Are you mute challenged?
Oh, yes, now I'm here. Here I am. Hi.
Oh, good. Welcome.
It's pretty clear here. We don't have so much smoke blowing in because we did get some rain, and although I heard another fire started in somewhere in California, so it's good, though. Today is a good day. So I went down to my reunion last weekend.
Oh, great. You made it. Cool.
And I practiced my driving skills again and my driving attitude again. And anyway, I had a very fruitful, wonderful reunion, just talking to people, all people from the past, but in the present, sharing our vision again. We lived together for 4 years in high school. And anyway, it was really fruitful because everybody had these chunks of their lives that they'd lived and these awarenesses and wisdoms that they had to share. And
right.
We were really a very cohesive class. those of us who continue to come to reunions anyway.
Right.
So I'm just giving a report. But I was immersed in all this love and appreciation that they had for me, which I didn't expect. I thought they were talking behind my back and teasing me, really. I mean, I had that reality then a little bit. But
right.
They said they loved me, and so that was really validating. And I come home here, and I'm with my partner, who just still is immersed in hostility. I mean, he's just hostility wherever he goes, and it's really, I'm seeing the difference so much that no matter what my skills are, it's just not enough. I can't do his work for him. And
right.
Yeah. So that's just where I'm at right now. Trying to eat better, trying to regain my skills in every arena, and take care of Julie again, because I slipped into taking care of these conversations, So got to face that.
Well, we'll hold the space.
Did you play? They had asked you to play at the reunion?
I did practice. I was ready, but there wasn't a real piano, and I practiced on my keyboard, which I had forgotten. The keys are all slanted at an angle rather than flat, which I could have adapted to, but I didn't feel satisfied enough with it, so I didn't bring my keyboard. I want the satisfaction. A real piano is just satisfying. But I visited my old boyfriend's daughter, and she has a beautiful piano and two sons, and so we all connected. It was really fun. I was there with them for 5 hours. My boyfriend had passed away a year ago, her father, and her husband also passed away the same week. That is weird. Yeah, she had a lot to process, so that was good. Anyway, I'm just reporting that big breath here, tell the truth. Just seeing the only way is the way, and I can't get everybody to do it with me, so I just have to do it with me doing it, which is our team, and it makes such a difference. It just makes such a difference. So I'm grateful for you again.
Well,
thank
you for saying thank you.
Yeah. Are you guys going to do that? Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. Are we going to do?
Well, you can respond if you want, but one question I do have is, how are the plans coming along for the Still Point? A regular.
We're rocking on it. We're planning on doing a monthly. It will be the second Saturday of October.
Oh, okay.
Which is, I think, the 9th. I think the first Saturday is the second, and the second Saturday, if I remember correctly, it's the 9th. So yeah, we're planning on it. And
did you not get the newsletter with the announcement on it?
When did you send it? Because I haven't been checking my email very regularly.
Gosh, it's been a couple weeks ago, I guess.
I'll look it up.
And it is the 9th.
Okay. Great.
But all the information is in there, and then we're going to do on the Wednesday after. So it's the second Saturday of every month. And then the Wednesday after, we will do the support session, questions, answers, processing, stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay, I'll look that up and get it into my calendar. Thank you. Yeah. Well,
cool. And anyway. There are three levels of doing it. It's a membership type of thing. We decided to set up since, we had just done one last month, and we got such powerful feedback and experience with it that we decided we're going to do one every month. So there's a membership that you can do one. You just do one session, so it will include 2 different videos plus a video of the actual day's workshop. It'll all be done via Zoom. So if somebody just participates in one, cost is $150. It'll include the workshop on Saturday, the 2 videos, or 3 videos actually, the Mind Shifters introduction, and to the actual, it's actually a $40 video of Mind Shifters and its introduction to still point breathing. It will include another Mind Shifter session, and it will include the video for the workshop of the day that someone participates. So and then the following Wednesday evening from 7 to 9, we'll do Eastern time. We'll do processing and conversation. So people can do just one, or they can do a package of 3. So a single one is $150. A package of 3 is $300. Includes videos of each workshop they do, plus those videos I mentioned, and the Wednesday evening follow-up. And or people can do a year. And so there'll be 12 consecutive sessions doing the same thing. So there's those 3 levels. But if you look in the newsletter, that's all laid out and explained, and it's all there.
I will also put links to the website because it's on their website as well under events, and I'll put links to that in today's notes.
Oh, okay. Good. Well, I'm glad to hear it's happening. I love it. And it's a good way to stay in touch at a distance. It really works. Yeah.
Well, and refining the skill of using the still point tool, the Mind Shifter tool, I think they're important tools, and so we'll be covering a lot of territory as the year unfolds with that. Awesome.
Good.
If there's anybody listening that wants to get on the mailing list, you can drop Jeannie a note, JEANIE at WHYagain.org, and she'll communicate with you about that. Or you can go to the website, whyagain.org, go to the bottom of the page, and there's a link there. You can just click to sign up for the mailing list, and you'll be rock and roll.
Okay, cool.
If you scroll down, if you go to the home page too, you can scroll down. It's down toward the bottom of the page is the flyer for the 90-hour intensive, which you've already done, but for other people, there's a flyer. We've got a 90-hour intensive self-study that's there, and the flyer is on the website, and also the membership for Mind Shifters and Still Point Breathing on a monthly basis is right there on the home page, down towards the bottom. So.
Oh, good. Okay.
Cool.
Is that the co-dependence one that you're going to do again, too?
Well, we don't have another intensive schedule we're looking at. Had an ear to the ground. Jeannie's been talking about maybe doing a Women Healing Women. We may do a teacher training online, and or we may do Laws of Living. Depends what requests look like. But at this point, we haven't had enough interest to schedule another online intensive. But people who, you've got access to that whole 90 hours of video work, having been a participant in the Codependence to Independence Communication Practicum.
That's
and
right,
you've got access to the private Facebook page for the food support and the Trello app for recipes and such. So that's all part of that. And now that package is available for anyone who didn't do it, available for purchase at $600 for 90 hours of some really, while you were part of the process, so some pretty profound stuff happened in that workshop, wasn't there?
Yeah, it's good. It's always good.
It's pretty amazing. So that's available.
The food part is so important. That's what I need to get back to. That's my next goal.
Go for it. Well, I support you writing that goal down and getting on it today.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
All right. Blessings.
I'll write it down. Blessings.
Okay.
Blessing to
Sounds
you.
Good. All right. Okay. Take care. Bye-bye.
And
so
also
we're down
in
to
the
about
newsletter is the information
ahead,
on the intensives that you just mentioned as well, and saying please contact us if you're interested in one or the other, because the interest level will determine probably which one we do next. So information
That's
on
exactly
those
what will determine
is on the website. Yep.
So if you're interested in the Women Healing Women Intensive, you're interested in why is this happening to me again, with teacher training or without. Well, actually, normally at Heartland, the why teacher training is usually a 16-day process. And the first 9 days of it is it's the Why Is This Happening to Me Again workshop, and that covers, the forgiveness process. Why is this happening to me again? Healing through relationships, communication to share what I think I said, purpose, personal power, and commitment, empowered to heal, mind shifters, hands-on energy field work, still point breathing. So that's the 9-day component of it. And then the next 9 days, teacher training. So we're probably going to do that if and when we do it, over a 16-week period. So the participation, some people might not be interested at all in teacher training, but they can do the 9-day, the first 8 weeks of it. And then if you decide you want to do the teacher training, then you can do the whole 16 weeks. And laws of living, we haven't actually set a time frame for it. There's a lot of material to cover in it, so it'll probably be more like a 20-week intensive online. So anyway, we appreciate each and every one of you, and thanks for lending us your ear. And, if there's any show in particular that's interesting to you, go to the website. You can go to the microphone on the homepage, click it, drill down, and you can download an MP3 of the last 10 years of shows. By the way, the best way to get all the shows, because many programs that you can listen to podcasts on only give you a maximum of 300. If you go to iHeartRadio, you get all through 3,500 or whatever shows for the last 10 years, and you can download them, listen, what have you. So thanks for playing. Have a blessed one. Lots of love. Bye-bye.